Part 2. Azure Moon. Blue Sea Moon. The Impregnable Fortress. When Claude steps down as its leader, the Leicester Alliance disbands, and its lords swear fealty to the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. The chaos in the kingdom begins to dissipate as the people unite under Dimitri's rule. Riding this momentum, the Kingdom Army prepares to march south for a decisive battle against Imperial forces.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Last time we helped Claude out by fending off all of the Imperial forces that were being led by Dimitri's uncle of all people. And so, what we are going to do this month is get ready to attack Fort Merceus, I think is what the name of the fort was. It's a fort in the Empire that's actually led by none other than Caspar's uncle. Not uncle, but father. Speaking of Caspar... Well, I don't know.
Hey, Professor. Got something interesting? Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not sure what would be a tea he would actually like.
Yeah.
And all that.
I get it now.
That seems a bit obvious on that.
Yeah. Huh?
Oh,
I get it now.
there you go.
Hey, are you getting hungry?
Am I getting hungry? Where's my response? Takes forever for this. I don't know. Oh, there you go. It was perfect. Fantastic. And we're just gonna end.
Thanks for this, Professor. Don't you want to get some exercise, though? Come on.
Here we go. Got some charm out of it. What is...
It's been 10 years. Can I move on yet? Ugh, never mind. I know what you'd say. In a sense, someone who's long since passed. Another mercenary I fought alongside. They were killed 10 years ago when Dagda was in conflict with the Empire. It's all I can focus on lately.
Why do you think that?
To be honest, I blame you. I'm just teasing. I know it's not your fault. You just remind me of him. You give off a similar air. It's uncanny. You even have the same inflection, which makes no sense because we only ever spoke Dagdan. I don't know what it is, but you feel the same to me. I guess you just remind me of the past.
It's not anything I can really
That's
help.
fair. It's not your fault. It's my fault for getting caught up in memories. Still, you always remember your first love, right? That's enough of that. There are more relevant topics to discuss.
Well, what will you do after
Good
that?
question. The world is completely open to me. Your next move seems apparent. But who knows where I'll end up. Though I may have done enough traveling for one lifetime. I like the idea of having a permanent home. And after all my time here, I've grown quite fond of Fodlan.
We will finally have our decisive battle with the Empire this month.
The Eastern Lords are in the process of consolidating all of the troops within the entire kingdom. In addition, ever since Aryan Road's liberation, the Western Lords have been declaring their fealty, one after another.
Affairs within the kingdom have calmed down considerably, and we even managed to win over the Alliance.
Although it was a rough go at first, I'm starting to feel like we could actually win this. That's true. Thinking back on it now, we've really come a long way.
We even have a lead as to where Rhea is located. It is as we predicted all along. If we are to rescue Rhea, then we must defeat the Emperor.
If we're going to march from the monastery to Inbar, then we'll have to cross the Great Bridge of Myrden again, right?
Yes, I believe so. As we have gained the Alliance's support, we should not have any trouble this time. After the bridge, we can cross Gronder Field and head south. And then we'll take Merceus, the so-called Impregnable Fortress that towers on the other side.
Fort Merceus, I know of it. They say it rivals even Aryan Road.
Count Burgleys, the Empire's Minister of Military Affairs, once had troops stationed there. But according to our spies, a large-scale military force has entered the stronghold. Perhaps they are gathering soldiers from various regions to compensate for their losses.
Can we actually
If we try to avoid it, those troops will follow us and attack from the rear.
That is true.
It is best for us to handle the situation head-on. Once we take Fort Merceus, Enbar will be within reach. This is the Empire's last chance to stop us from arriving at our goal.
In other words, if we take this fort, then our blades will be at the Emperor's throat in no time.
If this is the last fort between us and them, then the Emperor will likely do everything she can to strengthen its defenses.
I just received a report on that very subject. The one commanding the troops stationed at Fort Merceus is someone we have crossed blades with many times. It is the Death Knight who awaits us there.
Oh, so that's who we'll be battling. Emil.
Yep. It's Mercedes' brother of all people. Alright. How far away? Ugh. You got the axe, but you don't have the other two. I can understand the writing, because that's just something he hasn't really gotten that far in. I see. Loses 1 defense but gains 1 resistance. I don't really see too much of a reason to change. Alright. Okay, you did master that. Okay. We've got a few things. Let's reclass right quick. That's why I have it. let's get you to War Master.
I'll use this.
Okay. And ability-wise, what was the ability you got from Wrath? That's what it was. Just increasing crit by 20. Okay, so I think what I'm going to actually do. Oh gosh. I'm gonna trade the weight -3 for Wrath. Mainly because Wrath is actually a really good ability. And so basically he's gonna have at least 55 crit with Killer Axe. Just normally. Which is kinda crazy, but that's how that works. Now, go back to the menu. What's going on with this? Quite a bit actually. Pretty much most people he's got full support with.
Now the flowers are all taken care of. Huh? Felix? Why are you hiding there?
I'm not hiding.
No? Then what are you here for? You don't even have a real reason, do you?
No, I don't.
Then why?
Because of you.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
I want you to sing for me. I hear your voice when I'm asleep or in battle. It's like I'm your captive.
My captive? What are you saying? Oh my, I'm suddenly really flustered.
I can't help it. I don't know what I'm saying. Forget I said anything.
Felix, are you blushing?
I don't know. Shut up. I'm not blushing.
Well, if you feel like that about it, I suppose I could sing for you sometimes. If you like that sort of thing.
Oh? I'd better go. Bye.
Hey, wait! You just got here. Do you want to hear me sing or not?
Yes, I do.
Well, what song do you want me to sing? Bears, swamp beasties, foxes, or dungeon?
I'd like to hear all of them, if you don't mind. Starting with the library song in full. Sing for me. Please, Annette?
Well, okay. Just this once.
What in the world? That's crazy. But alright.
Professor Hanneman, how unexpected.
Hello, Miss Dorothea. There is something I would like to ask you, should you have a moment.
And whatever would that be, Professor?
It's just some rumor I heard about your prejudice against the nobility. You remember when you came to me before, and we talked about how I used to be noble? I was just wondering what your aim was.
To clarify, I only hate nobles who are obsessed with their status. You're not that kind of man, Professor. I mean that, really. And it sounds like you never were.
I see. But hating nobles obsessed with their status, you must have had some terrible experience in the past. My apologies. That was rather presumptuous.
No, it's fine. As I'm sure you know, I was a highly praised songstress for a time. Before I was a singer, though, I was an orphan. And before that, I was the daughter of a noble's maid.
My goodness. From an orphan to a renowned songstress. That is quite a life you have led, Miss Dorothea.
Well, I don't remember much of my early years. My father was never there, and my mother was driven out of the noble house where she worked. before long, she fell ill. I was always alone, and I lived in the alleys of the Imperial capital, just trying to survive from one day to the next.
I see.
Eventually, after I became a singer, I met the nobleman that I think is my father.
Oh.
He'd had a child with a maid, but the child didn't have a crest, so he threw them both away. Those were his very words. I can't prove that he really was my father, but I suppose it doesn't matter. He didn't know who I was, and when he flirted with me, my feelings were something beyond fury. I was dumbfounded. In truth, I felt that way about all of the nobles who flocked around me, yet would just as easily have tossed me away should it better suit them.
You have my most heartfelt of apologies, Dorothea. I am afraid my curiosity has opened old wounds. Sadly, it is undeniable that the nobility is full of such terrible people. Perhaps even myself.
Professor?
Oh, it is nothing. Just lost in a memory of my own. Just know that I will do my part to ensure that you always know kindness in this world.
Thank you.
Wow. That's certainly something. And that's the thing about these support conversations, is that the characters will reveal things about themselves only to certain people. And that's kind of crazy.
My family made it through the conflict unscathed. Thank the goddess. It seems that Deirdre was the only place to really get caught up in the fighting. Did Claude intend to spare the Alliance territories from harm? If so, he's a truly admirable leader. Speaking of Claude, I wonder where he is.
Who knows? Who knows where Claude is?
Right.
So, essentially, this month is going to be just getting ready for the attack on Fort Merceus.
Oh, Professor! Good timing. You have to talk some sense into my father. Recently, he's been doing nothing but work himself to the bone. Even when he's taking breaks from training and errands, he's apparently listening to reports, day in and day out. He's getting on in years, you know? I just want him to take care of himself.
I'm sorry to hear that. Before I do any advanced training, I'm going to go through and get in motivation for everyone else.
Professor! We're finally going to attack the Empire? I'm actually getting a little nervous. Please defeat the Emperor and save Lady Rhea. I'll be waiting here with all of the necessary preparations for a huge celebration. No.
Alright. Let's see. All that for one no effort, really? Oh. My guess is that I can't. Oh no. Okay. So that's still available. It's just I gotta actually get through it and get those resources.
Let's see. Is it true Lady Rhea was taken to the Empire? Why'd they take Lady Rhea? Professor, they didn't take her to kill her, did they? That's good.
I don't think so.
We just gotta beat the Imperial Army and get her back, right? You gotta help her, Professor. I'm begging you.
That's the biggest question, is why would they kidnap her and like take her somewhere and not say anything? It's just really strange.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Is it true that we'll be assaulting Fort Merceus next? That doesn't sound like the brightest idea. I've heard that it's built to withstand an attack from even the largest of armies. And not to tell you how to do your job, but don't do it. I'm not ready to say my final goodbyes to everyone.
Alright. And this is something that I didn't realize. I don't know when this guy came in, but when I was playing through one of the other stories, just to kind of make it more streamlined when I play the other ones, I noticed this guy.
Hello.
And I don't know what chapter he comes in, but he actually sells arcane crystals. So if you're looking at upgrading your... getting a Lebanon sword, upgrading that, or maybe the bolt axe or something, this guy actually sells it, which is kind of crazy. Let's buy.
It's all yours. Tell your friends.
And he also sells teas and presents and whatnot as well.
The Alliance is just gone. It's hard to believe. The merchants of Deirdre all have nerves of steel. I'm sure they'll be up and running again in no time.
And you always have your regular stuff. Yeah, I bought all the other stuff. Hey, there's just this. And honestly, the master seals and the upgraded items are really for the stats are really the only thing I would say is worth buying from Anna. Unless you want one of those accessories. I don't know. Permanent defense. I would say... Yeah, actually I want you to have it. The Aurora Shield. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna store the critical. We're gonna equip the Aurora Shield. Goddess Icon and permanent HP up. You typically have... she doesn't have bad luck. Oh yeah, Dimitri's luck is abysmal. I forgot about that. Well, not as bad as Dedue's though. Dedue has some really bad luck. We're gonna put up the concoction and put up the silver bow. Yeah, we'll give you the Goddess Icon. As far as a permanent HP upgrade... Yikes. That's really bad. Okay. I don't think I really need to worry about much else. Let's make sure the battalions are replenished, because that would be in the best interest of it all. Kingdom. Oh, and my gosh. Brave Lance. I'm gonna go through this at some point when I've got a lot of extra money and probably buy everything. Oh, you had everything. It was Felix that had the extra. Yeah. He also had a rusted axe. Okay. We're going to go ahead and sell that. That way we can just go ahead and have that done.
Thank you.
Now,
Please come again.
I do remember that we got a lot of... Yeah. Oh, we can... Oh, these are magical gauntlets. Okay. Might make those at some point. I don't know how close I am to that or not. You don't have woot steel.
Is this it? There you go. Is this it? There you go.
Steel, and then make those steel into
Is this
the
it?
aura.
There you go.
Don't have enough mithril for the Perithra. But we can make a magic bow plus, which increases the range. That's actually not a bad idea. I think I'll go ahead and do that.
There you go.
That way I can basically have a longbow that can also do damage via magic, kind of like a Lebanon sword. Or Levin sword. I'm putting extra ends in there for no reason. But a bow. Sword of Zoltan. Cursed Ayesha sword. Those can be proportionate to Iron Sword, which is not what I need. So I can actually make a Crescent Sickle Plus. Which I might. I can't make a Bolt Axe Plus.
Is this it?
I don't really know anybody who could actually use a Bolt Axe Plus. That's the thing. There are people who have a B axe, but they don't really have that much magic. That's the big problem. The closest person that could actually do that's probably going to be Sylvain.
Come back anytime.
Or would be one of the better options for that, but I don't think Sylvain has a B axe. Probably far from it. Actually, no, he's just one thing away from it. But his magic's also only 21. So, she could definitely actually use that. Because even the Crusher uses a magic stat. So, really and truly, if I wanted to use an axe but didn't want to use the, but I don't have a B on the axe. She only has an E. So, yeah, she's very far away from that. And she probably won't get to a B before the end of this story. Alright, well, let's go ahead and head to the cafeteria and go do that.
You know, Professor, laying siege to a keep is like asking a girl out on a date. First, you get past her defenses, then you make your move. See?
You know, I'm just
Anyway,
gonna
of course,
go with
you're
it.
making the tactical
Oh,
calls.
sorry.
I'm happier to follow than to lead.
Hello.
It's interesting that no one's ever said anything about how we're going to get in.
Oh my.
It's a bit weird.
The Alliance has really been disbanded? I never thought such a thing could happen. As long as it doesn't negatively impact our lives, I don't care much whether we're the Kingdom or the Alliance.
With the Empire destroyed, the borders within Fodlan will likely become a thing of the past. With that, the rules of trade will change, Personally, I'm excited to see what these changes will bring.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
Have you heard of the Crescent Moon War? That's when the Alliance won their independence from the Kingdom. Some 300 years ago, the ruling Duke of Leicester died without an heir, and the lords with blood ties to House Blathen took that chance to propose ruling the Leicester territory as a republic. The head of House Regan led the Leicester lords and fought fiercely with Farkas. They won independence from the kingdom. And now, here we are.
Yeah. For what was fought for independence is now
Aren't the kingdom
nothing
and alliance
else.
once part of the same country? If you think about it that way, it makes sense for them to unite. I suppose the kingdom was once part of the empire as well. Even if Fodlan came together, I wouldn't be surprised if it fell apart again.
That is true. They can't make up their minds whether they're going to be together or not. So, who knows? Alright. Actually, everyone's fine. How about that? I think I took care of that before the end, oh. The last chapter. So we can actually do some
Fort
stuff.
Merceus is next, huh? Ah, the memories. It's a huge stronghold in my father's domain. The town's completely surrounded by high walls. I used to run around there when I was a kid. Way back when a fortress was just a playground for me. Yeah, those were the days.
Let's get some axe level up on our capabilities. Well, like skill levels anyway. Alright. Ashen and
So, I wonder where Claude will go. From the sound of it, he's leaving Fodlan altogether. He was strangely gallant about the whole thing. Even left his relic behind. Elusive and mysterious to the end, isn't he?
That is true. He left his relic
Just
behind
as we
as well. He
suspected,
gave it to us.
Lady Rhea was taken to the Imperial capital. We must get to the capital as quickly as possible. So many people are worried sick about her. I do wonder when Claude managed to learn Lady Rhea's whereabouts. He's pretty shrewd. I can't help but admire him.
Yeah. He's a bit of an odd one, but he's... Claude's very tactically minded. He's got a tactical mindset. And he's pretty shrewd at negotiating that type of thing.
We defeated Lord Arundel. The Emperor must have been surprised. If we can keep up that fervor, perhaps we'll capture Fort Merceus and move on to the Imperial capital. We must not be overconfident, though. Yes, I concur. Humans and beasts are ultimately the same. When they're cornered, they lash out however they can. They fight for their lives. Who knows how the Emperor will lash out? We have to be careful.
He's not wrong.
We took quite the detour. It was time-consuming, but finally, we got the information we needed. We crush the Empire, we get Lady Rhea back. 2 birds, 1 stone. First, we take Fort Merceus. I'll put my heart in it. I'll crack him like a rusty helmet.
Alright. Something else I did figure out is having the highest rank you get for your skill levels is S+. And essentially with your weapons, you just get whatever weapon that is. So like sword flare, axe flare, stuff like that. So you get 5 extra attack or magic depending on what you're using.
So Lady Rhea was in the Empire all this time. Wish I'd known that 5 years ago. But there's nothing we can do about it now. What we can do, though, is topple the Empire. Will you seize victory with us, Professor? For the sake of the late Captain?
Certainly. Merceus is over there. So we'll rush over there and talk to her.
I've come here after getting chased out of the Empire. There's no place for our kind there anymore. But there are still many inside Empire territory who haven't abandoned their faith in the Church of Saros. I pray that one day we'll get the chance to rebuild the church within the Empire.
Maybe. Maybe.
The Archbishop has been taken to the Empire, just as we thought. But why hasn't Edelgard killed her yet? If she intended to use her as a hostage, she'd have publicly announced that she was unharmed. We don't know what the Emperor's intentions are. All we can do is fight on and pray the Archbishop is okay.
Yeah, that's the biggest question. Why wasn't Rhea killed at all? It's weird that she's being held.
Doesn't matter how sturdy to keep. If the commander defending it is incompetent, it can fall as easy as anything. That's what they say, at least. I wonder if that applies to Fort Merceus. All I know is, if I was the Emperor, I'd never in a million years assign an incompetent commander to a fort as important as that one.
Yeah, I don't think Edelgard's gonna just let some rando captain have hold of it. And as we kind of heard, it's the Death Knight, which is her brother.
Death Knight. Going to fight the Death Knight.
Mercedes' brother.
To be perfectly honest, I am.
And it's so sad. It's Mercedes' brother. And there's really nothing you can do. And it's just kind of in this whole aspect of, well, we're there kind of deal. Okay. These two.
Singing is so much fun.
And more
Everyone should
on
enjoy themselves while they're doing it.
whole aspect of just
This
trying
is no
to...
good. Sing from your diaphragm.
She's at an A, we're at a B+, she's at a B+. We have an A+ on our authority. So it's not too terribly crazy. Recon, field recon mission, making it back alive should be roll. How can I convince this? I would say that. Which is very true. You can only learn from your mistakes if you're able to make it back. So.
Need something.
Oh, 300. So we haven't really gotten that much.
See you again soon.
A couple need 1,000, but the rest of them are gonna need quite a bit. We're gonna need at least 5,000 to get to one of, like to the end of each one.
Something about Lord Arundel rubbed me the wrong way. There was something off about him. Not that I've ever heard anything good about him. Have you ever heard of the Harim family? Correct. Their lands are due south of the Ordelia territory. Since Edelgard's rule, Lord Arundel had been governing the territory. It seems like his reign was particularly cruel. The people there suffered greatly under him. He seemed to be a good and just person at one point. It simply doesn't make sense.
And, There's actually, she actually does, Lysithia will actually get more in depth about that, about in a prologue, but you have to have Ferdinand with you. And so we're not able to view that. But it's kind of crazy.
Fort Merceus is the Empire's single most fortified military installation. Utterly impregnable, they say. I wonder, do you happen to know the nickname given to Fort Merceus?
It's the Silver Maiden.
Oh
no, it's not. The Stubborn General. My bad.
It seems Fodlands give everyone and everything a nickname. Myself, I have been called the Fox.
Silver Maiden's the Aryan Road, the one we saved. My bad. Trying to think about way too many of these things at once. That's
each step closer to Embar, I'm reminded of another part of my past. Riches and poverty, glory and failure. That city has it all. And if I'm honest, sometimes I miss it. That's how the past works, though, isn't it? It's always a different story than what you really lived.
That is true. Let's get that to a D.
There is still...
Alright.
The Death Knight. I shudder to think of him. Professor, you remember my connection to him, do you not? I am still working through the trauma from back then. All these years later. If we meet him, I swear I will have my revenge.
I don't know.
Fort Merceus is a keep that was constructed to defend the imperial capital, Embar. We cannot enter the capital without first capturing that fort. But once we have it, the city should be almost entirely at our mercy. Now that we know Rhea is there, we must move with the utmost urgency.
Alright, so I'm gonna just go ahead and go for a C+ for X.
This experience.
That's what's. Oh, it is at a B. I couldn't remember if it was at a B or a C. I'm wanting to see what Sedith actually says.
Professor. Yeah. So, we're finally invading Empire territory, huh? There's not much we can do right now, except pray for deliverance. I truly believe that we have it in us to succeed.
Alright.
Even in the kingdom, only a few people knew about His Highness and Edelgard's relationship. Me? I always knew those two to be like brother and sister. To think that we would come to see this world, where they are at war with one another. I live it, and can still barely imagine such a truth.
Excuse me, good night. I don't know what was going on there.
Professor.
Alright, so let's head over to Dimitri and Didu and talk to them. See what they gotta say.
Claude has stepped down from leadership, and Leicester is now a vassal state of Fargus. The lords of the Western Kingdom are beginning to declare fealty to us in greater numbers also. The Empire is our only remaining enemy.
From this point onward, we're in all-out war with the Empire. Are you prepared, Professor? I'm glad to hear it. That means we can approach the coming battles with peace of mind. First, we capture Fort Merceus. The fighting will undoubtedly be brutal, but we must prevail. As far as this army and I are concerned, you're our last ray of hope. We are relying on you.
Alright. I think that's really all. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for that. So we'll end it. And we'll instruct manually. And we'll probably end it after this. Okay, so as far as what I was planning on doing, let's see if I can get his...
This will...
Golly, that's a lot of perfects. He almost... If he didn't have a great, I think he probably would have leveled that up. Maybe. Well, it was just... Yeah. I think he would have leveled it up. Alright, so... Really and truly... There's not much... I could do that. I don't really want to, though. And this is kind of all over the place. I do want to make this a C+ real quick. Because that's going to be helpful. And actually, I'm going to level up his flying. Because I will say this, one thing that's really nice is having the alert stance. That's a really nice ability, especially with someone that already has high evasion. You can make them pretty much untouchable. Let's leave Ash as is. I could level that up. I don't know really what I want to do as far as that's concerned now. Yeah, honestly, let's get this going. I'm really... It's at a D. And we'll put the others into reason. That way, the closer he is to getting that level up, the better. Dorothea, just go ahead and get you a B+ on that. And I'm going to try to make this as close as I possibly can, which was abysmal. Golly. Nice. She learned to praxis.
Don't.
Okay. Let's see if we can get close. Kinda. Flame. I'm going to have.
I would like to do.
You get leveled up in authority.
I would like to.
And also put some in reason. The biggest thing about it is Flame and Merceus are the only ones that have Fortify. So if you're wanting someone to use Fortify on any other story, Flame's the easiest one to get because she just joins you naturally through the story. Otherwise, you have to get Merceus. And Fortify is a really good spell. One you're going to actually want to put some effort into making, so... I don't know. Alright. Honestly, yeah, he can keep that. Going for those two. Yeah, that's fine. You going for that. I'm actually going to swap that up a little bit. I would like authority and flying. You're just doing writing. Well, you don't really need to anymore. Let's change it up. We'll do authority and axe. Actually, you know what? Everyone's gonna be doing flying, apparently. You've got an A. So let's do a change of pace. You're doing that. But I want you to do reason and authority. Annette, you're fine. You know what? I'm gonna keep it as authority in writing. 'Cause you actually get movement, like your base movement +1 if you get to a certain, I think it's A or A+ with writing, so I'll leave it at that. Ingrid. Which reminds me, flying also gets something. I do like you learning bow, so you're fine. Caspar, yeah, I have you trying to get that yourself. You're going for it as well. I would honestly say go for reason and flying. Ignatz, you're good. You're fine. There's not really a reason for her to have the weight minus, mainly because it doesn't really matter for magic users all that much, because they don't typically carry much of anything. So I'm just gonna go to flying to get the avoid. Sedith, you're fine, really. I don't see a point to have you change anything right now. I'm not using you all that much. She's level 33, so she's actually getting there to where we could take her along with us. Although a lot of us are in the level 40s, she's slowly getting there. Hanneman is really behind. Manuel is caught up. Gilbert and all that. You... I'm having you learn sword for some reason. I don't know why. I actually just want you to gain bow and authority at this point. We'll begin there.
Professor?
Yes. When I do nothing but fight, my spirit falters and I lose the will to keep things tidy. When my room falls to disorder and my spirits falter even more, is there no way to break this cycle? I would say probably do one of these two. I would say probably this one. That would give him better motivations.
What a superior answer.
But not that he really needed it, because his motivation is already at 100. Oh yeah, the group task. What did I have it set as? I forget. I think it's still them writing, but I might have changed it up. I did.
I'm counting on you.
All right, this is gonna be fun.
This is what I get for not recording for a little bit.
How do you like
Because I don't remember everything that I did. Alright.
Guess all that time wasn't wasted.
Reason level 5.
I'm getting it.
Defensive tactics. Alright. Saint Sethlane Day.
I've never sung a song before, so I don't know if I'm good or bad at it.
Singing is so much fun. Everyone should enjoy themselves while they're doing it.
Alright. So, apparently it's Flame's birthday. I'm just kidding, Flowers. I really don't want to go through another tea party. Alright, so. Next time, we are going to go do some battling. Again, like last time, I'm gonna just probably show one of the fights. I might do it. I'm either going to start the recording and cut 2 out, or do 2 and then start the recording. I don't know. I just feel like not showing any of the battles seems kind of ridiculous. But do you really need like 2 episodes of like me doing auxiliary battles? I don't think so. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. And so next time, that's what we're going to do. I think I'm going to do 2 off screen and then we'll come back. And because we need to get some of our levels up, especially for this fight that we're going to have with the Death Knight. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later.